I did that lumberjack Biggie. So
All right, right on, right. Yeah, if you got anything kind of laying around like around you that you want to kind of show off, I would love to see it. I know everybody else would love to see it.
all
So
right,
yeah, man. Poplo Picasso. So if y'all have not seen any of his stuff or what he does, you can go check out all about him. We'll obviously be talking about it through this podcast, but he can, man, he can. Well, yeah, I just call it artwork because I don't even know how to explain. I just call it beautiful artwork, just masterpieces everywhere. You just got little masterpieces and big ones too.
thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, hey, no, I appreciate you. I love what you're doing. I love when people use their talent so everybody can see it because I think that's what all of this is about. That's why I'm doing this podcast. I want to be able to see what other people out here doing, man, because y'all doing big, big, big things. So,
Grateful to be on the podcast first and foremost. What's up, everybody? Peace, peace. Poplo Picasso.
oh yeah, 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 bro. So okay, so we was talking a little bit before we actually got started, and you said that your family was from Jamaica.
Correct.
You were born in Toronto
Correct.
and raised mostly in Hamilton, which is
Yes.
still in Canada.
Yeah, we call it Steel City. Yeah.
Okay. Why you guys? Why they call it Steel City?
Steel City because it was basically there was Stelco, DeFasco, we were producers of steel. So our main economy here was producers of steel, and we're like twin cities with I guess it would be Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's what it sounds like because that's why they got the Steelers. So
absolutely.
yeah. So what is it? What is it? A city mostly now? Then is it still pretty good
Um,
at making steel or
the steel industry is not so prominent right
right?
now. We've had a resurgence. It's very art. There was a big upswing in arts and whatnot. It's still a smaller city. Um, so a lot of development, as it with everything, a lot of gentrification, a lot of just urban sprawl. We used to have a great escarpment, a mountain that's kind of just started to expand, and a lot more
Mhm.
people moving here. So yeah, it's just any city that goes through the upswings of being a smaller city that now is turning into a bigger city.
Yeah, yeah. We whenever they had legalized like CBD and cannabis and stuff in Denver here, like everything went up, like because everybody was just flocking there, and I guess it got so crazy that they had like given money back to certain places or people because of how much money the city was making as a whole. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's a lie, but whenever it happened, it would make a lot of sense because of what was going on. It's just everybody was opening it up, the CBD and cannabis shop. So
Okay.
yeah, so you were telling me what got you into making these pops. Like, go ahead. So you said it was the Biggie Lumberjack.
Yeah, this was the first custom that I did.
It's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, so that
I
was the
did
first
see
one.
that. I did see that. Now I think about it.
Yeah, that was the first one that I did. And I, I got into pops because of the hip hop ones. So the first ones I bought were like the Tupac, Biggie, Jam Master Jay, Run DMC. I got the Public Enemy ones. So my local comic book shop is called Big B, and it's a friend of mine that owns it. And I was doing like radio commercials for them, and I did like a big mural on the side of one of their businesses out in Niagara Falls. So just going through there and grabbing comic books and stuff, I seen these pop figures. I seen the hip hop ones, and I came up on hip hop culture. You know what I mean? I did a radio show. I had the first hip hop clothing store in Hamilton.
Huh?
So I came up on the culture. And when I saw them, I was like, yo, I got to buy these, So that's what really got me into collecting pops. And I wasn't collecting superheroes or nothing. I just had the hip hop ones until about, I would say, maybe about 3 years ago when somebody was like, they seen a picture I took of my Tupac and Biggie one. And they're like, you got like $1,000 there in those two pops. And I was like, what? And then I jumped online, and that's when I was like, oh wow, like this is crazy. I didn't even know the community was still so expansive, and that people were just collecting all types of different stuff. I think I had the Thundercats too at that time.
Yeah, yeah. The Thundercats are really up there now.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I just bought them because that was like, that was childhood,
same.
you know what I mean? So I came up with the like the Panther and Lion-O and whatnot. So I got those ones, and then yeah, it was. I think it was just the hip hop ones and the Thundercats ones that I
Yeah,
had.
same here, man. That's. I've always kind of just stuck with the pops that like I got Spider Man right here, and I got DBZ right here, and that's mainly what I liked as a kid, and I didn't even know like I had maybe half of all the Spider Man pops until like I started finding out like they had a value and all this other stuff, and there was a market for them, and then I found out about the Facebook groups, and then I found out about Instagram
Yeah, bro, it's a
way
rabbit hole, man.
later. So yeah, and then that's how like I had stumbled onto you and Dark Sage and some of the other guys. So I was I'll be lost for words, OG. I'll be telling you because
I ain't
especially
gonna
with the
front.
work you doing.
I pulled my wife, and after that, I was laughing. I'm like, look at these people with walls of these things. Like these people are crazy. And then like fast forward, like I'm just
Same,
as crazy as they.
same.
I got my walls of it as well. You know what I'm saying? It was
Okay, so I got just a quick experience. Whenever I want to hear yours. The first time I ever seen pops were just around my local mall. I would kind of see them, and this was back in like 2015, 2014. So this was a while ago, and I would just look at them. I'd be like, I don't get it. And then I would just walk away. And then every time I would just pass it. And then one time I was at like a comic book convention here in like our main city in my state, and I was walking through like the main convention floor where they sell stuff, and I like turned looking for my cousin, and I looked to my left, and I locked dead eyes with WWE or WCW Sting, the wrestler. I locked eyes with him, and he was the first wrestler I ever seen, period, like ever. So whenever I see him, that's what got me hooked on him. And I was like, okay, now I see why people do this.
yeah, nah. Mine was the hip hop ones, and automatically I understood it because I collect everything hip hop pretty well. So from books and whatever. So as soon as I saw the pop figures with Tupac and Biggie, I was like, I bought them. And then I think after that, I grabbed the Run DMC ones, and I probably grabbed the Thundercats, and then like the Public Enemy. So it kind of went like that.
Did you see? Did you ever see pops before that?
I probably saw them in the store, but just it didn't register to me. Like I didn't attract to it. I probably saw the superhero ones and all of those ones before, but yeah, it didn't attract to me until I saw the hip hop ones, and I was like, okay, these are dope. I just bought them at
Right.
$9.99.
That's not bad at all.
Not at all. And I got my Public Enemy ones signed by Chuck D and Flavor Flav.
Really?
Yeah, because I did a book called Hip Hop Homage where I painted 50 hip hop pioneers, and I was able to meet Chuck and Flav at a concert out in Toronto and interview them and give them a copy of the book. So my book, I've been able to meet like probably about 27 people out of the book that I did portraits of and have them sign my copy. So I got a copy with like 27 autographs of like some Black Thought from the Roots, which is one of my favorite MCs. He signed it. I got to do an interview with him. I got a wicked interview with Sean P. You know what I'm saying? Fife Dog from you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So before the audio kind of went out there on it, she was kind of just telling me about all these people you met and all these people you kind of listened to and kind of looked up to in a way, and the people, the music you admired and all that stuff. So
Yeah, very fortunate. I pulled out my copy of the book with some of my, some of the people that I met and had signed. So if you want, I could do a quick
oh, definitely go. Yeah, yeah,
So this is my book. It's called Hip Hop Homage.
that's amazing.
It's got like a gold foil on it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So the first person that I got signed was the Cool Herc one, and it's kind of crazy because very next page I got Africa Bambaataa and Big Daddy Kane, and they both signed theirs. I don't even know if you can see what spot, but yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see them. You can see the
Okay, so
yeah.
I did Latifah and Roxanne Shante, but I haven't got to meet up with them yet.
Okay.
Um, it's funny because Slick Rick and Rakim
Nice.
both got their book, but
Uh-huh.
I didn't. My homeboy Lifelong from New York was the one who met them, so he gave them their books, but I didn't get my copy signed.
Dang.
This is Outcast and Common.
That's cool.
So I did a very stylized for some people, and then some people I did more portrait style. You know.
Right. Oh, that's nice.
I don't have to go through the whole book, but I just kind of wanted to show you, some of the ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
this one
you can
was dope.
throw it away.
I got to meet both Def, and he doesn't. He usually doesn't take pictures with people. So when I was backstage, I was talking to his road manager. I'm like, "Yo, I want to give most, a copy of my book and meet him and stuff." And he was like, I don't know. I don't. Right now, it's probably not the time." So I pulled the book out, and I'm like, "Yo, this is the book." And he's like, "Okay, this is dope." And he's like, "All right, I could probably hook that up." So he brings me backstage, and I'm like, "Yo, can I get a picture with him and stuff?" And they're like, "Nah, he don't take pictures with." So we get backstage, and they give most of the book, and he's like, "Oh, this is dope." He's like, "Yo, let me get a picture." So he took a picture with me. I'm like, "Oh, that's dope." But this
That's
is
what's
really
up.
dope.
Yeah.
So Primo signed it for Guru. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Which is dope.
That's amazing, man.
I'm gonna show you one of the ones that I really, really like, or there's a couple pictures in here. Like my pun. My pun came out really dope.
Yeah. Oh,
It's funny because the Fat Joe was the one that was the first one I did with the. It wasn't even a book idea. I just drew that picture and I was like,
uh-huh.
"Yo, I want to draw some more in this style." This is the one with Fife and his autograph. My
You like,
Nas came out really dope. That's the Beastie Boys. And then where's my Nas? There we go. Nas came out really dope.
yeah, man. You got straight legends in there, man.
Yeah, King. But yeah, just
Jeez.
it was dope. You know what I mean? To do the book as the ode to, all the pioneers and the people that I was like, yo, I got mad respect for what you guys have done for the culture. And then to give them a copy and then have them be like, yo, this is dope, and sign mine and whatnot. There's 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 a respect, I have for Black Thought, that as an MC, that it's just ridiculous what he does, you know what I'm saying? And then have him sit down and look at my artwork and be like, yo, this is dope, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
Black Thought is telling me my art is dope, you know what I mean? And that appreciation for just different art forms is a really dope thing.
So what was the process of like making the book, Like could
Oh,
you
it took
talk
me 2 years. I was working in a group home at the time, so I was working with at-risk youth, and every day I would try and challenge myself to do one drawing a day. Some days I'd get two done and whatnot. And as I said, started with the Fat Joe piece. I just did that one, and then I don't know what the next one was, but I was like, I kind of like this style with the splash backgrounds and stuff. And I said, I'm gonna do more like this. And I said, about 4 or 5 in, I was like, yo, I should make a little book, like a little coffee table book. And I got to about 10 and I was like, yo, this is dope. It's starting to look like something. And then I got to about 25 and I gave myself the number 50 to do. When I got to about 25, I'm like, yo, I might just do 25 because I'm kind of starting to tap
Yeah.
out. But I pushed through and I got 50 of them. There's a couple of them in there that I don't like the finished piece, but because I was just tired at the point, I kind of let them slide. And I self-published it. So I was looking for somebody to publish it at first. And it's a game, just like the record industry, where it's like pimps and hoes. You know what I mean? They'll give you little or nothing for your work. Started to hear the sense that I would get on each book kind of thing, and I'm like, yeah, but I just spent 2 years drawing and doing all the work. You just got to compile it and press it. You know what I mean? You're putting up a minimal investment. You don't have
Right.
the time invested, but I started looking around. It just so happened, like I said, it's the universe is great in which somebody somehow I got a manufacturer direct in Canada, and I got the
Wow.
connect to be like, yo, I can get the books done myself, you know. And at the time, I was a full time artist, and I had a good friend that had bought a couple of my works, and I told him about what I was doing. He started to see the pieces, and he was like, yo, if you need some paper, I'll invest. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me like just a beautiful investment, and I just hit him back with his paper and a little small interest on it, and I just self-published it. I had to teach myself how to use InDesign and all that to do the layout and all of that, and that was it. I just did it, and so far I've sold probably about 600 copies. You know, Fat
Oh,
Me was holding it at one point. They were selling it out of New York and whatnot, and I just do it hand to hand. So I still got a garage full of books. If anybody wants one, holla at me.
yeah. I'm gonna put all any other than the Instagram. If you have any other links to
Yeah, my website is
anything, I'm
Eclipse.
gonna put it
My
in the
website is
description.
eclipseart.com, so you can see more of my work,
Okay,
like painting stuff. This is a
I'll put
Muhammad
all the
Ali one that I did.
descriptions. Ooh, I think I didn't. You just post that on Instagram,
Yeah,
I
I just
believe?
posted it for a raffle right now that
Yeah,
somebody could, you know what I mean? You could put $15 in it. Get that's like a $210 piece. Like it's hand embellished, it's on watercolor paper, hand embossed, like it's signed, you know what I'm saying? So I try to do different ranges of art because I know a lot of people that come from hip hop culture, they're used to having a poster on their wall. They're not really, you know, you got the Fly God now, you know, Griselda really pushing art, Swiss Beats doing like, you know, no commission. They're starting to really, really, you know, let people know that yo, arts are ridiculous and it's great for investment. You know what I'm saying? Much
yeah.
less it's helping the culture. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. So so I seen you just did the Ninja Turtle.
yeah, he's right here.
Oh, 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 man, that's so dope. The back too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Oh,
that's the main thing about my customs, man. I try to make sure I do them because I'm
oh,
an inbox collector. You know what I'm saying? So
oh, yeah, me too.
I'm an inbox collector, so it's important. Even my biggie that I did with the lumberjack, he was just in the regular one, like he was in the regular box, and I just told my wife, I'm like, yo, he's not even going back in his insert. I'm gonna just take a picture and then do a box for that. And then the other four people that bought it, because there's only 5 of those ones. The other 4 people, I'll just hit them up and say, yo, I'm gonna send you that. All you have to do is cut it up and glue it your box, and you'll have one with a box art. Because I think that's important.
Man, I respond that way to that turtle because the turtles is like my life, man. After we get off here, I'll send you a kind of a video of the tattoo I have on my leg. It's on just a half sleeve, just from the knee, like below the knee down, so the top of the calf down to the ankle, just all Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I got Shredder, Splinter, and then the rest is Ninja Turtles and other stuff. So
It's always funny to me how people respond to things because that piece was a homeboy of my detox. He just got a custom from me recently, and he's a big Ninja Turtle collector and stuff. So you know he's been totally into the Funko Pop stuff, and not just Funko Pops, just toys in general, mainly just Ninja Turtle stuff. But seeing as he got a custom pop from me, he was like, "Yo, I got a couple pieces here you might want that I don't really need. I guess that was an extra Raphael that he had." And he was just like, "Yo, you could take those, you know." So it was sitting there, and I'm like, "Let me just give it a repaint." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "What do I want to do?" I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna rock it with a metallic," and then I hit it with the metallic. I'm like, "Yo, this is shining nice." And I was like, "Maybe I outline it and make it look like a comic book sneeze," you know? And it just kept going with it, and yeah, I like how it came out.
yeah, see, so that was kind of my question earlier. Is like, do you go in like knowing like fully what you want to do every time, or most of
Nah,
the time, or does
nah.
it change?
When I'm doing customs for people, then I look at pictures and then I try to work from a picture. So yeah, I have a pretty established idea. So what I'll do is I'll get the picture first, and then I'll start looking at head sculpts that work for it, and then body sculpts, and then if I have to sculpt anything, and then you know what I'm saying, that's
Yeah,
where I'll go. But when I'm working on like my own pieces for like you know what I mean, like that croquet piece that I just made, you know what I mean? Um, this dude in particular, or like you know, cat in the cap. You can't.
yeah,
I just wanted to do the cat in the hat thing, and I
hmm,
just happened to throw a spray can on his head, and I was like, oh, that works.
yeah,
So I just created that character, and the same with this one. It was a body from like what's that dude named Zazu sitting around, or a head from
hmm,
Zazu. and a box
Hmm.
from Woody the Woodpecker. You know what I'm saying? That I
Nice.
used for other things. I used the Woody the Woodpecker to do a Roadrunner custom for someone. You
Oh
know,
snap!
so all of a sudden those pieces are sitting around, and I'm just like looking at them like I don't want to waste them. Let me merge something together and make a
Right.
story. And they come, put some paint on it, spray it up. This is all just happening because I'm bored right now. I'm waiting for pieces to come in to finish customs for people, but the shipping, I can't go to a store to buy base pops now. So I have to wait for online shops to ship, and things that were taking 2 and 3 days are now taking like 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like just ridiculous times. So I'm not used to just sitting around idle. So I just pick up stuff to create from, and they could turn into something.
Right. Speaking of that, I mean, everything on your end cool over there with all this stuff going on. Like, you hold
Um,
cool, everything good for the most
yeah, man. Like I said, I got a wife and 5 children. So I got a 20-year-old that you know he wants to live his life. You know what I mean? They want to go have fun and stuff. So he's maintaining, which is awesome. He's doing a lot of gaming and stuff like that, and that's the hard part. Just trying to make sure everybody just stays home and deals with the social distancing protocols. But beyond that, like I'm able to still go for a jog or do some boxing or move. I don't want to sit around and just eat and then end up being
part.
30 pounds heavier because I just came back from dropping a good 20 pounds. You know what I mean?
Oh,
While I was working out, you know what I'm saying? So
oh, that's
I'm just
what's
trying
up,
to
man.
maintain a good physical and that's it. But out here in Canada, they've done a pretty good job. Like, you know what I mean? They've got all the ventilators and the PE stuff and you know,
No,
they taking care of the people in regards to making sure that people have good finance now that things are locked down and stuff like that. So
right.
overall, I would say Canada did a good job with what's going on, and most people are dealing with the distancing protocols and whatnot. The other day there was a really really sunny day out, and a lot of people went to a local park in Toronto and just went, kind of like the beaches in Florida and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So there was way too many people and not masks and stuff like that. But man, the way I look at it, man, it's like life is to be lived. You know what I'm saying? And I know that people have been a little bit antsy of just sitting around for too long. You know what I'm saying? So they're eager to get back out, but you just got to do that safely. So that's the
Yeah,
end. But you can't, be upset with people either that are starting to like, trying to go back to a life of living. As long as they're aware of the elders and the certain people that it's going to affect more, and make sure that they don't go back to them without a quarantine and stuff like that. You got to start to
yeah,
let
yeah.
people live a little
That,
bit because I mean,
yeah,
you can't do this
yeah,
forever, man. It doesn't make no sense.
yeah, man. It's definitely a lot going on. It's a lot of stuff we do know, a lot of stuff we for sure don't know. And I think being that we don't know stuff, and when we do know that they've been telling us certain stuff and they come to certain conclusions, like everybody should be very careful of your everyday life, like what you're doing, because like you said, it's the if it is a thing for elderly people or people that's already have problems
Um, yeah,
with health or something, then you make sure that you're not going around them and then going around a bunch of places. But if you going out and you don't, if you know, what I mean, you can't help be around people like at a grocery store or like just in certain areas. If you can't help it and you go home and it's just you, I mean, I see no harms, But my
yeah, man.
problem is with people that's having all like indoor parties and stuff, and then like they go out and then they're kind of like complaining or being mad at other people for like going out and just living their lives normally. So it's just like it's just a weird thing going. Like we live in a weird time, and I hope it don't
It's
come.
super weird. I see people online that are like, "Yo, my neighbor's got 4 or 5 people over right now and stuff." I'm like, "Yo, when is this a thing?" Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Why you put on social media and telling people what you don't know what those 4 or 5 people are doing? Like, yo, it's not a big deal. Your neighbor used to have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I hope we don't get to a point where it's like this is the only way I could be able to interact with people.
Wow, I know, right?
you
I
know,
know.
and like it would be against the law, not be like a lot of people here where I'm at were like fearing a martial law or something more serious. My thing is like citizens by their own like hand will like make it to where there's a law where you can't be in like outside society unless it's a bunch of these different standards and rules, and it's like that would be insane. That would be the collapse of human society. Is scarcity of freaking of flu, and it's just like, man, I don't I try not to be too mean about it, you know what I mean? Because it's I don't being that I don't know anything, I'm not in anybody's because any Facebook. I don't even like even talk like you're probably the first person I've talked about this with in quite some time. To be honest with you, it's been mostly like Dragon Ball cards or
Yo,
pop.
King, the main thing, the way I see this, King, is you just got to use common sense with it,
Yeah,
man. Like, there's way too many talking heads, too many pundits, too many people speaking about it. You just got to sit back, think about it on a personal level or your family, and then use common sense from there. You know what I mean? And go off of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because there's so much misinformation
right,
and just like from the top on down, from Trump speaking to you know what I'm saying, like, everybody on Facebook is so-called knowledgeable. You just
right,
got to look at it just like your health. You know what I mean? It is all about your health. So what makes sense for you and your family, and then deal with it from there. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Because that's what's important. And if everybody dealt with it like that, then they're gonna take care of their immediate cipher,
right,
and then everybody should be good. But
right,
yet you have to look at it like there's other people that are dealing with. What about for people that live alone and now they're locked off and now they're dealing with mental emotions or
well,
different things that,
like
what I
that,
mean? They're dealing with depression,
yeah,
or people that they're used to going to work and they can only drink a small portion of time because they're at work all the time. So they'll have two drinks. Now they're home all day and they're having 20. What it's gonna look like when they have to go back to work? Do they just become an addict? You know what I mean? Like, so there's so many different things that are happening with being off for 2 months. You know what I'm saying? So you can't fault people that now be like, yo, I need people around me. I need to go see somebody because you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm lucky I got a wife and
yeah.
5 children here that I can interact with. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you go for a jog, you see the neighbor and you have a conversation from across the driveway or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's fortunate that they got people that they could talk to. So
Yeah, I just fear for like what's going. Like, I hope for my country's sake, because where I'm at, we in a weird place. So like I'm in Indiana, and I know California and New York are like kind of still like mostly shut down for the most part, and they will be until I think June or July.
are you guys open up like malls and restaurants or not?
That's the thing here in Indiana. They have like they're doing like a 4-step process sort of
Yep.
thing.
I see it on the news. What stage are you guys at?
We are in stage 2,
Okay.
so they kind of let everything open right
Yeah,
now.
but just with limited tables,
Limited,
obviously not
yeah,
like not sporting events, none of that type of
no,
stuff. But restaurants are open up with like spaces in between the tables. You can go into a mall, but you got to have certain distance and stuff like that.
yeah, yep. Some stores limit like GameStop limited to people like 5. Some stores are limited to 10. So it just kind of depends, kind of. So
On how big the store is. Yeah.
yeah, that's really well. Anything that's kind of non-essential, I think they're kind of limiting people. So I went to like the model kit shop the other day, and if we finish up, I might go today, but I don't know. But they had limited to like 5 people in the store. And the store is pretty. It's got a pretty decent size, but he was still limited to people. So the
And
small,
that's okay, because for
yeah.
for their own personal safety, if that's how they feel, I mean that's how they got to
Yeah, I
do it.
didn't
You
have
know
a
what I mean?
problem with it. I was like, "Oh no, that's so." Whenever I see that, I've seen that at a few stores. What I normally do instead of like being inconsiderate and just walking right in, I'll read all the signs on the door and the windows because
Yeah,
my lady actually walked into a Little Caesars pizza place and it said on the door, "Everybody got to come in with mask." And her and a few other people just walked in and didn't even see the sign. And I was
yeah.
like, it's signs like that, and then the limit sign. So I like to just look in and count myself, or see if there's anybody there, and be like, "Is it cool to come in?" And so.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, definitely, man. So it's getting weird out here, but I think it'll get better for sure. So, but is there anything else dope that you can show me, man? Because I'm interested in anything collection wise. I know you have vinyls that you were talking about, so
Just of my own collection.
yeah.
Um, I recently just kind of started organizing things a little differently here. So let me see if I can move this around a little bit. I just picked up where we at? We that janky there. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just kind of just put this little table together.
I dig it.
Um, the outcast piece up there.
Oh,
You able to?
nice.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
And then so this is my one of my walls here with like some of my hip hop stuff, and then my turntables. All behind the records down there. I mean, behind the vinyl down there is all records. So all of those cubicles is all records in there.
Jeez.
And I got another whole side over there. So
Jeez. You got
it's
a
just a couple.
crazy collection, man. I love it.
And then this is like my UFC. I got all the UFC ones. I'm
Nah,
totally into like UFC and a
wow.
couple wrestling ones. Just the ones I wanted.
Right.
100 and
Yeah.
Rowdy Piper. That's when I came up. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
yes.
a
Yes.
little bit of sports stuff up there, and Astro Boy. I love Astro Boy. Beyond that, man, it's like yeah. Beyond that, I got like just a stack of stuff that I'll buy at like when they have like at ours is called EB Games, but it's a sister company to GameStop. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have like Fridays. I'll go there and I'll buy like $5 pops, or when they're on for $1, and I'll just have them all over there. That if I want to use a head from one or a body from one, or somebody has a backpack that I need, I'll just be able to cut that off instead of sculpting that and stuff like that. So I just got a stack of those over there.
Right. So do you? So I'm glad you brought that up. So you actually like sculpt your stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, some things you need to. It's
Yeah.
not as simple as just grabbing when you're doing cornrows, for instance. Not a lot of Funko Pops have cornrows. So if somebody's hitting me up and be like, "Yo, my husband has cornrows," what I'm saying? You gotta sculpt that in, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or even the other day with the one that I did with the young lady that's holding a purse. It was a I guess they were at an art gallery, and she had posed in front of a painting, and her husband or her boyfriend wanted a picture of her holding the purse and the exact outfit. So I had to sculpt that and do her hair with the red. And when she opened the box, and you see it on my page, and she's opening, she's like, "Yo, but this is what I was wearing." You know what I mean? That's what I live for. When somebody's just like, "Yo, that's so," you know what I mean? Like, they're just like, "How did you do this?" Or "How did you get this done?" You know what I mean? Like, that's what I try to do.
So I'm not gonna say how many customs you've made for people. How many memories have you made for people so far, man?
Oh man, it's countless, man. There's, as if you go back on my page, you'll see one custom I'm particularly proud of is there's this gentleman out of Houston that's probably bought about 37 customs from me just for by himself. Like he does his own, like he does the Vernon Shirley, the Harlem Globetrotters. He's got like time periods, but um, his father passed away when he was younger, and they gave him a little stuffed animal, and it's like his pride and joy. You know what I mean? It's like he still got it. It's 30 plus years old, and he wanted a Funko Pop made of his stuffed animal. So I made it for him, and
Wow.
then I had the idea of getting it flocked, so I sent it out to Queen Bee Customs, and she flocked it for me and sent it back to me, and then I sent it to him, and when he got it, he was just, he's a big Funko collector, so he was just so happy with it. You know what I mean? And those are memories and moments that you just can't quantify as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's those are the things that are just like, yo, it's dope. You know what I mean? To know
Yeah.
what a skill set can do, but what a medium like a Funko
Hmm.
Pop, a vinyl figure can do in a way of enjoyment, or seeing kids. see themselves reflected in a pop, like a young aspiring baseball player see himself on a box with a picture of him in a uniform and his name on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dope. You know what I mean? So I like that.
Man,
Yo, I'll be honest with you. There's I just shipped two pops today that are going to, like, I can't even tell you. It's going to a celebrity rap group right now, and I can't speak on it until they get it and open it and whatnot. But bro, I'm super excited for this one. I'm like, oh yo, I'm like super excited for this one.
hey, I bet you are, and you should be, man, for especially for something like that. Like, so is okay. So I'm not gonna ask who it is, but is it somebody you've been following for quite some time, or?
Absolutely. And when you find out, like, in a week or two or whatever, they actually give it to them and they get to open it and shit. And when you see it, you're gonna be like, yeah, like, you know what I mean?
So it's a group, like it's more than one. You made more than one pop for a group of people.
Yup.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I was see that's what I'm saying. So I was talking to her, but I was like, I'm really geeked to do this podcast with him because I mean I just want to pick his brain, but I know
But
you
bro,
got stories for days,
the
you
craziest
got
thing
pop
is,
for days, customs. I know you doing it, so it's like I don't even know where to start or end or begin.
bro, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm just living it right now. Like for me, it's something I just picked up and I was just having fun with, and it's developing into something. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't supposed to be a business. It was just me. That's what I've always done in life. I started airbrushing T-shirts in high school. That's how I ended up opening my clothing store. You know what I mean? It was just me airbrushing a T-shirt. Bell Bib DeVoe was rocking joints, and you know what I'm saying. And I was like, I did up mine, and people were like, "Yo, that's dope. Where'd you get that?" I made it. Oh, word! You can make me one? Okay. How much? I don't know, $40. Boom, I start doing that. My gym teacher sees me in a hall hustling stuff. He's like, "Yo, you're talented. Why don't you do a mural in the gym and we'll pay you?" And I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" He's like, 2 grand. And I'm like, "Word? Okay, cool." I'm in high school making 2 grand to do my team mascot. I'm like, okay. So it just became a business, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what the Funko Pops things did. I just made one for myself. People were like, "Yo, I want that." I'm like, "Okay, cool. How's this?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, cool." Boom. And I made it, you know what I'm saying? And since then, it's just been people have seen things and they're like, "Hey, can you do this? Can you do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Let me try." Sometimes it's like when I try to do Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, because there's no real pops that you could use for that. That tested me, man, because it's like that's when I'm like, okay, I got to sculpt this now. I got to, you know what I'm saying? I got to try this out. And,
It's time
I've
to
sent
go
stuff
to the
out that
next stage in the custom game.
yeah, man. I've sent stuff out that you sculpted. I'm using polymer clays and stuff like that. So then I send it out, and it's like it gets broken in transport. Like when I did the J Cole with the crown and the locks and stuff, it looked so amazing. And I sent it to the client, and a couple of the locks got broke off. I was distraught because I'm like, man, I can't even I can't fix it for them, and I'm trying to tell them how to glue it and whatnot. And you know what I mean? It's just like but that's part of the process and the learning process with doing this. Remember, I'm only maybe about a year into this. Like I haven't been doing a lot of customs for that long. You know what I'm saying? So
That's crazy, man. I'm blew away. Like, so you telling me you ain't even been doing this a year yet? So
it's been
I
probably a
came
little
in
more.
during the startup year.
Nah, nah, nah. To be fully real, wait, do I have my book? I think it was probably 2018. It's probably been about 2 years. I think I gave Funko a book of like hip hop people that I wanted to see created in 2018, and that's when I really, really started to be like, "Yo, this is dope." And it's funny because I gave them a book at Fan Expo out here, and no joke, they're doing like the salt and pepper that is pretty well close to what I had given them in the book, and I know that's my influence because I don't think they would have been doing salt and pepper had I not gave them that book.
Yeah,
Andy Lil Wayne came
I
out of
had
that. Like,
seen that of yours, and then other people was talking about. I was like, it does look just like it, yo. If
bro,
y'all
I
haven't
just
seen
know
it,
that
go
Salt
check
and
it out.
Pepper, as much as they're a dope group and whatnot, if you look at Funko and the way of what they've done with hip hop, I don't think it would have been, Salt. And as I said, I gave it to him in 2018. It's just, the timeline was perfect. And I gave it directly to Sully, you know what I'm saying? So I know they got it, you know what I'm saying? So, and I don't have no problem because all I want more pop culture pieces from hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because I believe that our value to the culture is immense, you know what I mean? And I think that they need to make, more stuff, so to see
yeah.
Easy E coming out and, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's dope, like,
Oh
that would be
yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah. I knew they was on something with Lil Wayne and all that, so I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna have to get you back on here though, man, for sure. This was a part of the collector spotlight series. So I'm gonna just have to get you on. I do my regular podcast. I just get anybody that's like a creator or they got a talent or they doing pretty much what you're doing. So I want to get you on there as well, So you know, I love to get you back on down the road. I mean,
Hey,
whenever
man, no problem,
you
man.
you
No
got
problem.
more stories you can tell me, and you got more stuff you can show off. And I love your
Yeah,
story.
we're in my media room right now. I could take you down to like the studio where I got like my paintings on the wall and show you some of my artwork and a lot
Yeah,
more of
we're
my
gonna have to
paintings.
do that. We're gonna have to do that, OG.
Yeah, man.
All right, I
Say no
appreciate.
more. Say no more, homie.
So before we got here, where can everybody find you at? Like all your stuff at? Where are you at?
Best spot to check me in the way of customs if you're looking for custom Funko Pops and whatnot is Poplo Picasso. I am getting into more like designer vinyls and stuff. But like I said, I got my first cranky or a janky, and I'm looking at this dude Quicks. Like he's got me looking for his stuff and whatnot. And I just designed two of my own little vinyl toys in my sketchbook that I'd love to get made. So I'm gonna be looking just like I did my book. I'm gonna be looking at how I could get those produced and whatnot. So um I'll probably be looking to maybe see what's up with a company first, and if not, I'll just go source it myself and get it done. But you can check me, Poplo Picasso, on Instagram or eclipseart.com. Eclipse is spelled EKLIPZ. That's where if you punch that in Google or YouTube, you'll see
I'll
some of my rap.
I got you one better. I'm gonna get all your links from you whenever I go to put this up on YouTube and
All
put
right,
all your links below.
dope.
I appreciate you, OG. I appreciate you doing this.
Man, it's been a pleasure, man. Thanks for reaching out and thanks for the time, man.
Thank y'all for stopping by and checking out. I appreciate you.
Everybody be safe, man. All right. One love, y'all. Peace.